Oh my gosh, you had me at FERPA. Seriously, Mr. Campbell, when I saw the word FERPA, I could not wait to watch this video. That's what you're thinking right now. My name is Mr. Campbell from MrCampbellRocks.com. You're on my YouTube channel. If you're here, it's because you've got questions about FERPA, probably COPA, and you're a little bit confused, which is okay. Or you know them so well that you're actually talking yourself out of doing things. So I'm going to take a little bit of an assumption that you know a little bit what FERPA is, right? It's the Federal Records Act for Privacy for Students. That has really nothing to do with kids under the age of 13. That's COPA. That's the Online Privacy Act. Those are both federal laws. Most states have some sort of state law or state act that's connected with that. For example, Utah has the Utah FERPA. From everything that I've read and looked at, is that the state laws cannot be more strict or more stringent than the federal laws. Now, why does that matter? Well, a lot of people are asking online, in my building, in our district, on YouTube, different things like that. Are Google Meets, FERPA, and COPA like certified, or are they going to clear those? And the answer is yes. If you have a G Suite account, you can read right down below here. I'm showing you the website from Google, right? And I'll post it in the comments below. But if you are using G Suite for education, whether you're a private school, charter school, homeschool, whatever, public school, they follow all of these acts here with all of their G Suite education products and the Chromebook. Now, when we're dealing with FERPA, we're dealing with those questions and basically records of students. I have not seen any Google Meet at this point that has done anything with records other than an IEP. And those are a little bit different because those are under the IDEA and FAPE Act, which we won't talk about today. That's for another video. So let's jump over to the big one I think people are concerned about is COPA. So if you work with students under the age of 13, you're probably a little bit worried, like, oh, can I be a meeting by myself with them? Can we do this? Even the COPA Act, right, doesn't get into specifics about adults and kids under 13. That's been interpreted over time. Really what we're talking about is information that websites and businesses pull from kids under the age of 13. Now, what you're probably thinking about is best practices. What do good teachers do? What do teachers who do not end up on the news do? I was about to say do. What do they do? Anyway, so let's talk about that. If you're a teacher at a school, any type of school, except probably homeschool, right? Best practices is you don't meet with a student by themselves, or you meet in a room with the door open and another teacher. You meet with a student and an aide. You have a parent come in with them. You have the door open or your blinds open. Like I'm an assistant principal. I have students in my office all the time. It's just me and them. I always keep my windows open and the shade to my door is always open, period. Like it's just, I don't ever shut it, right? So that would be a best practice. Now the question is, well, we're meeting online and we have students in these meetings and we're doing one-on-one tutoring. We're doing all this stuff. What can we do? There's a lot of things that you could do. So there's just some suggestions. One, you could ask your aides from the school to jump in. At this point, I know specifically in Utah, we're doing everything we can to keep everybody employed and everybody working. That's bus drivers, lunch workers, all that stuff. They could do that from home and just jump in Google Meets all day long. You could ask your administrator. I would love it. I would love it if I could jump into one of my teachers' classrooms and meet all the kids and say hi to them and like joke with them and stuff like that. I'd probably actually be a distraction just because I want to see their beautiful faces. Most of them. Some of them still give me nightmares. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. They don't give me nightmares. We've had some moments that I've been really stressed with students. But you could ask parents. You do this all the time. Oh, I'm having a pizza party. Oh, we're celebrating day 100. We need some parents. Let's email them. Let's get the PTA or the Parent Teacher Association. That is the same thing. Parent Teacher Association, PTA. Let's get them involved. Every parent almost in America is home right now. You could send an email out to your parents and say, hey, listen, for the next 5 weeks, I want to have a Google Meet once a week with all the kiddos or twice a week. Parents, can I get you to sign up and jump in the meeting and then be the last one out with me? Boom. Boom. Like, boom, right? Solved your whole problem right there, everything. Obviously, you don't want to be in a Google Meet at the end with the students, so you kick them all out and they're fine. So let's jump into that. I'm just going to go through. I'll give you some links. I'll put them below. Right, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. I don't need to go into that. You probably spent a whole class in your undergrad or master's program on just this act itself, and it gives you nightmares and all of those things. But they have an updated version, right, because of everything that's going on with COVID-19. I'll link that below. Again, that's usually and mostly dealing with student records, not a lot of stuff with under the age of 13 and different things like that, and the kind of information that you're giving out. The other one, I'm going to slide over here, sorry, is the Coppa, the Children Online Privacy Protection Rule. So it talks about best practices there and what to do if you're a teacher or an educator there. So I will put all these links below. Ultimately, it's difficult, right? Because if you're here, you're like, oh man, I want to be safe. I don't want to be, sent to jail or lose my job or get fired or put on probation or all these things because something happens in a Google Meet that I can't control. Do the same things you do in a classroom, right? That's my advice. I am just an assistant principal in the middle of Salt Lake County in Utah, but that's what I would do. I would back my teachers, right? I would back my teachers. They're trying to do what's best for kids. And I know what you're doing. You're trying to meet with your kids. You're trying to fill their emotional void. You're trying to fill their social void. You want to get all the kids together and talk about all the new things that they've done, right? I mean, or all the things that they haven't done. Like what are games that they're playing at house, the new board games or TV shows that they've watched. My son was on one today and they were talking about YouTube videos and the new Dude Perfect, thing out there. I'm not promoting Dude Perfect, even though I just said that. It is pretty good. I understand why you're here. It's because you want to keep yourself safe, but you also want to do what's best for kids. And for that reason, I love you. I seriously love you if you work in education more than ever right now. I appreciate what you do on a daily basis. I've talked with our teachers and they're putting in more time now outside of school and crazy hours outside of school because of the situation. And I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're researching this stuff online and you ended up on this video. I would ask that you subscribe because my goal is to show you that I love you by providing you with information and ideas and tutorials that will save you time, energy, and frustration. So ultimately, I hope you feel better walking away from this. Again, if you have questions, I would talk to your in-school administrator and then maybe at district level, they'll probably have a policy in place concerning all of this stuff and to just do best practices. Thanks for being here.